I said yes to everything. I did. I said, at that point, my first, I had no idea about commercials. I didn't know what to do. They gave me I think it was a Dodge commercial, and my first try was 3 minutes long. That's what I thought a commercial should be. But they liked what they heard, and they kind of taught me, what 30 seconds and 15 seconds are. And that's a complicated thing to do, to write a catchy melody in 15 seconds or 10 seconds, and that was it. That was it. But, I learned a lot. I was there for a couple of years, and I learned about making records, and I worked with some of the best musicians in New York, because they were always on the date, and engineers and mixers, and I was green. And boy, when I came out of 2.5 years of it, even though I went to Juilliard, I've learned more for those 2.5 years than I ever learned in school. The company used to send us lyrics. Some of them were bona fide lyrics. Some of them were just a couple of lines.
Just like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm is there.
Because, we weren't talking about lyric writers, or some of them were much better. The State Farm insurance thing is a beautiful lyric. They still used a little piece of the melody now, but, it was a bona fide song. They wanted a 32-bar song. And we gave that to them. Over the years, what you got is State Farm is there. That's all you ever hear anymore. But they still use that little melody. I think you even read that I got $500 for it. And in those days, $500 was a pretty good thing. And usually when you got a commercial, it aired and it went off the air in 3 minutes, in like 3 weeks. Who knew that this was going to be, continually used for 40 years, 50 years or something, right? But, Leslie, I think her name is Leslie, she sang on it, and she must be on her third Rolls Royce by now, because you get residuals if you're on the spot, if you're talking, if you're singing, but not, or even as a musician. But as a writer, no, $500 and that was it.
I am stuck on Benny Bragg, bandage stuck on me.
That took about 30 seconds. It was just one pass, bingo, that was it. I mean, it's such a silly little nothing line. It felt to me like it was a children's commercial, and I just sent it in as soon as I finished it, and they bought it, so that was great. It didn't take a long time to do that one. I was just lucky. I was one of the guys that they would call, because I'm a melody guy, and I learned so much during those years. You have to grab the listener right away in your commercial. You can't do, a big orchestral introduction and then do the commercial melody. You got to do it like right at the beginning, and I took those ideas right into pop music. And everybody knows her name was Lola, right? Everybody, right. That's right at the beginning of the song. There's just a little drum thing, and you're right into the and I learned that kind of thing during commercials. You can't wait for the listener to, they're not going to sit there and listen to your lovely introduction. You got to get it right at the beginning. It's thrilling. It is. It's been so many years since I've been part of the advertising community. I mean, for them to even recognize me is amazing, but to get an award at the same time, well, that is really amazing. So I'm very, very grateful for it. I never really thought about that until the years went by, and I read the letters and I see what people meet me. They say the nicest things to me about my music, and I never think about the impact. I wonder if any other artists feel the same way. We do the job. We just do the job and then go to the next job. But with me, I am Cousin Barry. I'm Cousin Barry to the world. They look at me, they talk to me as if I've known them for years. yeah, it's been quite an experience.